Hello everyone, welcome, Merry Christmas. I am RxOliver and these are my friends, and tonight we're playing Call of Cthulhu. It's the Christmas Cthulhu one-shot special. I'm here with lots of cool people tonight. Our keeper is Birdie. I've got as players myself, Dave, Chris, Martin, Morgan and Brian, who will all introduce themselves properly in a moment. I'm going to get everyone to introduce themselves just now, in fact. So everyone is going to tell us who they are, where we can find you online to follow you and subscribe, and your favourite thing about Christmas. I'll go first. So, I am RxOliver. If you're watching on Chris's Twitch, you'll find I have a YouTube channel of the same name, RxOliver, where I upload all these actual plays that we do live here on Chris's Twitch. My favourite thing about Christmas is, I've got to say, it's overindulging. So, I'm going to go clockwise. No, I'm going to go a spiral around my screen. So, Martin, where can we find you online and what's your favourite thing about Christmas?
You can find me mostly on Start Playing games, though I'm taking a break because it's nearly Christmas. But yeah, sign up now and you can play with me in the new year. And you'll find me mostly on this channel playing games. And my favourite thing about Christmas is that you can drink in the morning without the social stigma.
It's a fantastic
I
thing
also,
about Christmas.
I also do like watching people fight at Christmas markets when they are drunk. Not when I'm drunk, but watching, couples have a big argument. Yeah, that's quite fun. Yeah, very festive.
Very festive, Martin. Thank you. And Morgan, where can we find yourself online and what's your favourite thing about Christmas?
Hi there. You can find me on Start Playing also, Jim Morgan J. Also streaming and running games as Mythic Journeys on Twitch and YouTube. My favorite thing about Christmas time is the rituals that families have, that people have as towns. One of them is going to my childhood best friend's house for Christmas Eve dinner. Everyone gathers and her mom makes delicious pies.
Fantastic. Wonderfully wholesome.
See,
after Martin.
Now I look like a fucking dick now, don't I?
Wonderfully wholesome. A lovely palate cleanser after Martin. Morgan, thank you very much. Beautifully wholesome and festive. Thank you. Brian, you look amazing. Thank you to your wife for making the suit. It's absolutely amazing. Where can we find you online? And what's your favourite thing about Christmas?
You can find me on YouTube under Lagmunster, where I produce some music with a friend, and be sure to check that out if you get a chance. And then I play on RxOliver's channel when I can. And my favorite thing about Christmas would have to be getting a chance to curl up on the couch with my wife and watching her chick flick movies.
Amazing.
For Christmas.
Very wholesome and romantic and Christmassy and festive before Chris ruins it. Thank you, Brian. Chris, his full first name is Christmas, by the way, viewers. Fun fact, his first name is Christmas. I'll not tell you what the kid is short for. Chris, where can we find you online? What's your favourite thing about Christmas, mate?
So you'll find me on all social medias. I'm Chris Kidd, Twitch, YouTube, Netflix, all the other websites. Just fucking type it in.
OnlyFans.
Sure if you've got, yeah, exactly. If you've made it here, you'll make it anywhere, I guess. So my favorite thing about Christmas is getting to train on Boxing Day with the biggest fucking pump in the world, because you've had all the protein and all the carbs and all the fats and all the sugar, and you get to go in and you just fucking have the best session of the entire year. And even if you don't, give it a try. Your partner will thank you for it. Anyway,
amazing.
Moving swiftly on.
Amazing, Chris. Can we get a flex?
No, you're gonna break his sweater.
Thank you.
Chris to threads.
Perfect.
You know how we tolerate so much.
Dave, where can we find you online? What's your favourite thing about Christmas?
You can find me on YouTube under Dave's Gaming and Twitch under the same. I don't know, mine's very boring. Mine's just enjoying the Christmas classics, the movies, Christmas Vacation, Die Hard, being number one, top of the list.
Love to hear it. Love to hear it.
Yeah, that's it.
Very
I
nice.
hope bad things happen to you. I hope bad things happen to everyone at Christmas now.
And last but not least, you can introduce our game in a moment. But first of all, introduce yourself, Birdie. Where we will find you online, and what's your favourite thing about Christmas?
Hello, I am Birdie. You will find me on Oliver's channel, RxOliver. It's the only place there I will be DMing, keeping all that jazz. So my answer is also a little bit like Morgan's in regards to rituals. However, it's more about the competition that people bring to them. So when people are having their battle of the decorations, when people are racing in stores to get to that last present, or when people are trying to one-up each other with Christmas desserts. That's what I like to see.
What about when it's people doing their gardens and people doing the outside of their houses and people trying to one-up each other on that? That's the best, actually. I love that also.
Yep.
To the people who go big when they do the Christmas decorations on the outsides of their houses, I appreciate it. I think it's awesome. The bigger, the better.
I'm taking mine back. I like to go on the internet and watch that thing where you can see Flanta flying through the sky, and then I get excited.
Yay! We made Martin be wholesome. It must be a Christmas miracle, folks. So without any further ado, Birdie, you may introduce our game.
Alright. I just want to point out, Martin, I would totally go to the mall and watch people fist fight over toys. So you're not the only one.
I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger made a whole movie about it, to be fair.
Jingle all the way thing going on.
There was a movie, yeah. Jingle All the Way. There's a classic Christmas movie, viewers. Get that on the list to watch. Sorry, Birdie. It's all yours.
No, you're fine. So we're gonna get rid of this happy music. Cutting it off. It's okay, it's gonna come back. But we're gonna talk about a game called Santa's Alley. But first, just some thoughts on that. Make it spoopy. So winter is an interesting season. For part of the world, winter is dark, cold, formidable. Our ancestors huddled in caves around open fires, and then later in houses around the hearth. Around this warmth, they created tales of creatures brought into the world through snow and ice. Now, the modern mind has determined that these monsters were just cautionary tales for children. Through technology and time, our fear of winter's cold has lessened. Evil spirits and beasties were rebranded as mischievous or little helpers, their dark and twisted forms remolded into small, cute, funny. Today, folklore is just that. It's lore, fiction, and our fear of what comes with the cold has unfortunately left us. So today, it's a snowy winter in Arkham. The year is 1986. Christmas is less than 2 weeks away. That means the Arkham Mall and its employees are fighting for their lives. Desperate shoppers push through the halls trying to secure last-second gifts or take advantage of holiday sales. And this year, the mall has a special event, Santa's Alley. Local businesses from the town and county have been brought in for an indoor market. Santa is on ground taking pictures and toy requests, and decorative displays highlight Arkham history, courtesy of the Arkham Historical Society. It is snowing outside. It is cold, and the dark will be coming soon. So now I'm interested in, how do our evil spirits and beasties interact with us now in the modern world? So, let's see. It's the 80s. First person we're focusing on is Miss Beatrice. She actually is an antique owner. She has a store, beautiful. She's in Santa's Alley right now with her own little kiosk. Martin, would you like to say a little something about Beatrice?
Beatrice is a quirky, kind of shy, introverted lady. She prefers to be with her strange artifacts that she has in her shop more than actually talk to people. But she does have to run a shop, so she will talk to people. And um, she is enjoying selling fake Christmas artifacts to the stupid people.
And you are making a killing. You know exactly what knickknacks to bring. You're kind of cleaning out your shop a little bit of all of the old inventory, but you also get to people watch a lot, looking at the other kiosks as they're there, watching people walk by. You see two tall men walk by, uh, clearly not related to each other, but joking around with each other. As we swing over to Evan Hernandez and a Dave Hackman. Evan, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Evan is a firefighter from South America. It doesn't say which country. Let's say Brazil. He's Brazilian. He's a white guy from Brazil, but he's that Brazilian white guy. So you know that perfect tan color. You know that color. Like Brazilians are the best looking people. He's only got an appearance. He's got low appearance scores. He's not the best looking guy, but he's got that Brazilian skin tone. And he loves surfing. He loves Baywatch, so he styles himself on David Hasselhoff. Although he's not half the attractive David Hasselhoff is, he likes to style himself on him, and he's even got a car like Kit. Like it's not like Kit, but he thinks it is, and he calls it Kit. It's black. That's about all that's the same. But he's still a very happy, outgoing, charismatic person, and he is friends with Dave. Me and Dave are brothers from the firehouse.
Yes, and Dave, you're here trying to get some presents. Evan's coming along. So tell us about yourself, Dave.
So I'm Dave Hackman, another firefighter, same as Evan. Grew up in working at his uncle's hardware store when he was a teenager, and loves his job. He's very gregarious, very chatty, and loves people around him. We organise poker nights and we play softball and always try to keep people together. And with his good friend Evan as well. And he takes pride in serving his town, finding purpose and try to keep protecting his town as a fireman.
You actually recognize a lot of people today because it looks like the entire town is in the mall. Plus, people from around the county. It's pretty jam-packed. You guys kind of keep bumping into people because both of you are on the taller side. And also, it's just, there's a lot of decorations in this place. The hall is not as wide as it normally is. As you look around, there are Christmas lights everywhere. There is a massive tree decoration in the center of the hall with a little spot for Santa, and you can see a bunch of kids just crowding around. Around that Santa's area, there's a person who's just quietly watching everybody. He has Christmas shopping to do, but he's not in a rush. As Mr. Frank Colombo, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I mean, this is like the worst season ever. There's constant. If I have to chase another person down for taking something they shouldn't have off of someone's stand, and since when is crime a new thing? So
people are desperate.
It gets kind of crazy.
And unfortunately, Detective Colombo cannot separate his professional life from his private life as his eagle eye continues to catch naughty behavior around the mall. But he's not the only one looking out for it. Mr. Tim Williamson, the mall manager, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, Tim can keep his personal and professional life separate. He does so. I'm sorry, I've worked on it for quite a while, and outside of work, I've got a wife and kids. I am a coach for Little League. It's fantastic to see these kids grow up and having fun outside. In the mall at work, I see them with their bright eyes now, lining up in Santa's Alley. I want to say that it's my doing that brought Santa's Alley here. As the mall manager, I'm trying to sort of make up for my 6'4" imposing presence. It's just this bright cheer that I try to put on. I've got thick dark hair, it's neatly combed, well-groomed mustache, and thick-rimmed glasses with deep-set eyes that have seen too much. Here at this mall years ago, unfortunately.
Yeah. So you know this mall inside and out. You actually do recognize some of the children. They play in your little league. You know that your kids will be coming by later on in the evening to take their pictures with Santa. But this is a fantastic turnout. Chaotic and hectic, but it's still very, very good. I'm actually going to bring up a little map.
Ooh.
Boop, boop, boop. Bam. All right.
Oh, look at that sign. That's so 80s.
So to be clear,
where's Evelyn? Evelyn, hasn't it? They're just.
Yeah,
hold on, Evelyn.
As a guy.
Yeah,
You're getting
I have a thing for you, Evelyn. Hold on.
Okay.
You're getting
I need to
introduced
show
after
this
the map.
first.
You're special, Chris. Just wait. Just wait. Impatient.
You need to give him Black Mark for
Evelyn
that.
Evelyn's a little special, actually. Well, I'll say why, but I'm just gonna show this map right here. Just so you understand, these little red rectangles here. These are the kiosks. These round little symbols here. These are actually just displays provided by the Arkham Historical Society. And at one of these displays over here in front of Jordan Nash, which is like a Sears, in case anybody doesn't know, these are very specific to New England. But there is a very fashionable dressed woman who's been focused a little bit more on these historical display pieces here. She has a bit of a shrewd eye as she looks over everything. She's very discreetly saying some notes into a tape recorder. Tim, go ahead and give me a spot hidden.
Spot hidden. Okay.
Yes,
First roll
please,
tonight.
sir.
We're on the rolls already.
You're the mall manager. You gotta
Yeah.
do the first roll.
There we go. Okay. I am pretty good with that. Let's see if it turns out.
Extreme success. But no.
Hey!
You're a dad. You have to have good spot hidden. You look up and over to the crowd, and you catch this woman who doesn't seem to have the desperation of a shopper, the boredom of somebody who's waiting on someone. She is very closely inspecting, and you know that some reporters were supposed to come through the mall and write about Santa's Alley. And you get a good sense that she might be one of those reporters. Miss Evelyn, now can you please introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Evelyn Carter. I'm a reporter for the Arkham Gazette. I grew up idolizing my mother, and that's how I got taught the true value of truth and integrity. From an early age, I was captivated by the stories of injustice and learned to question absolutely everything. So I have built, alongside working for the Gazette, I have built a reputation of being someone who's persistently fearless in their reporting, and I will thrive on the adrenaline of catching leads and working late night shifts, going through archives. That's what really gets me, I would say hard, but I'm a female character, so you say what that means to you.
Or you can still use that phrase, it's fine.
Yeah.
Now-
So I just can't say it, you know. We'll all get banned.
And you say sploosh. That's what ladies do.
Sploosh.
Sploosh.
You can say sploosh. Hey, it's 80s.
Martin,
So
I'll have a wee talk with you about the birds and the bees after this, mate. Don't worry.
Nah, I
Martin,
think
you
I'm
gotta
pretty-
stop helping Chris out. You gotta stop helping him.
I mean,
So here's the big thing, Evelyn. You were sent down by the Gazette just to write a little fluff piece on this. However, you are not a fluff piece type of person. You think it's very, very interesting that a few weeks ago, there was a case of arson in a warehouse burned down. A lot of products from the mall were in that warehouse, and then the Santa's Alley thing got thrown together so quickly. It's just a little bit strange. It's almost like somebody was just like ready to go with the idea. You're not really sure what's going on. Why is the Arkham Society even at this mall? That's a weird thing too. It's Christmas. People just want to shop. They don't want a history lesson. What's going on with this place? Go ahead and give me an intelligence roll, Evelyn.
Intelligence?
Yes, please. We're coming out swinging.
+10 for those glasses, mate. Looking good.
Ooh.
There we go.
However, you just remembered. Everybody, you do get one Christmas die.
Nice
I almost forgot
roll.
to say that. Critical success.
Sorry,
Evelyn, you're looking around.
we get one Christmas what?
Yeah.
I was
All of
entranced
you
by that
get a
roll.
Christmas die. You all get a Christmas die. So at any point in time, you have one reroll.
A reroll, right? Okay.
No questions asked. So Chris, Evelyn, she's looking around. These stands. Some of them, okay, whatever. One of them's early Arkham, and it has some of like the old police uniforms, firefighter nurse uniforms, pictures of just historical places alongside their modern counterparts. There's another one that's just called the Hall of Records, like catchy articles. And you recognize a number of them. One of them is about an incident with a circus coming through and a number of people went missing. You're very familiar with that particular one because those individuals were never found. It's considered to be unsolved. But the stand that you're at right now, it's called Weird Arkham. And this one's really unusual to you, and you cannot understand why it is here at all. Because you're looking at it, and it's talking about the things that make Arkham weird. So Arkham used to have witches that came from Salem during the persecution. They used to have cults. There's stories about ghosts and whatnot. And you're like, yeah, okay, that's more of a Halloween thing. Why is that here? But as you're looking at this, one thing that you're definitely seeing is you're seeing police reports talking about a cult from the early 1900s. And you are identifying there's actual police documents up here that you fully recognize should not be out on display. They should be in the police hall of records. You're not entirely sure why that's here because you're also seeing crime scene photos. And when you're looking at it, you fully understand these are not recreations. These are showing the cultists who all decided to check out on the same day by taking a little nap in the snow, and they just never woke up. It was intentional. But these are real photos, and this is the strangest thing to have on display in general, but in the middle of the mall for Christmas. And you know that the Arkham Society, they didn't have access to this. They wouldn't have. These are police records. But Tim, you see this lady kind of studying some of your displays. Would you like to approach her, or do you want to just let her do her thing uninterrupted?
Yeah, how far away is she from Santa's Alley?
So Santa's Alley is covered by these wreaths right here. So it makes a big L shape. And she is actually right here.
She's way at the end there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I want her back at Santa's Alley. If she's going to be covering something, it better be something positive here.
No. You can absolutely go up and approach her.
Yeah. So I get down from my high horse and weave through the crowd, trying to keep my eyes on Evelyn, to make sure I know where she is. And, oh, ma'am, hi there. My name's Tim, the mall manager. Very glad to see you here in my mall. I'd love for the community to be enjoying themselves, but it looks like Santa's Alley, it's on the other side. That's where you wanted to go, right?
Yeah, Tim, I know who you are. Don't worry about that. I'm quite thorough in what I do. So yeah, I'm gonna write a report, but I've got kind of my own way of doing things. It's maybe not similar to other reporters you've had, but just give me my space so that I can be creative and not influenced by anything that you're trying to feed to the public via your retail dogma, as you've done over previous years. Let's not talk about Christmas in 81, shall we?
Christmas 81 was it's in the past. Don't worry, I'm not going to bring that up again. But please make
It's
sure
okay.
that-
It's not illegal. It was just immoral.
And he gets this look in his eye. It's like he knows. Yes, this is definitely something that he regrets.
Yeah.
And it starts him into this cycle of like, oh yeah, that was bad, and that reminds him of another bad Christmas,
Gonna make him
which
sad.
wasn't as bad. Oh shoot, yeah. And he sort of starts mumbling to himself, looking at the ground, forgetting how this Christmas cheer is supposed to be out on display. Yeah.
Tim, go ahead and give me a history roll. And you can do it with a bonus die because this pertains to Arkham history.
I love how ambiguous and open Chris left that. Yeah, it's so sinister sounding. It was great.
Ooh, I'll definitely need that.
Sorry. You're not really supposed to be focused on history. But her face is kind of familiar, but you don't fully know who this particular reporter is. But she certainly knows her stuff. And it stings a little bit that she brings that up. Because it wasn't really your fault what happened. You just happened to be the manager at that point in time. So it does sting a little bit because you do feel a little guilty about what happened. Simply because it happened under your roof. But that being said, there is a squeal of kids behind you as Santa ascends his little throne. This weird looking thing right here, that's Santa's throne. I couldn't figure out how to make a star. So
It looks like a star. Looks like a star, David.
Close enough.
Well, no, it's an 8-pointed star,
Looks
actually.
up.
Yeah, looks like it's like an 8-pointed star, David. That's what it looks like. It's
there you
decent.
go. So Tim, you hear a bunch of kids scream. You hear a lot of people start to clap now as Santa has shown up and he is beginning to take his pictures with the kiddos. You can see a couple little elves will flank him to help. And you know, two of those elves, because they're your employees. They work in the food court, but they're there specifically because some kids have already been pre-marked to receive some toys. You have a little Toys for Tots thing going on, so they're just waiting for those particular kids to come up so they can slip them their presents. And Evelyn, you see that too. You see as everybody gets excited for Santa coming up. Beatrice, a lot of people kind of leave your area a little bit just because Santa's here. Now, just so you know, you do get some free food and drink at the Arkham Apple. This is right over here at the food court. It's a little pop-up stand that has some New England desserts and treasures there. You're free to go up there whenever you want. And you know that one of the boys up there, his name is Josh, looks like he has a bit of a crush on you. He's been giving you free drinks the entire day. But as everybody walks away from your kiosk right now to say hello to Santa, is there anything you'd like to do? Do you want to kind of just stay there? Do you want to stretch your legs? Do whatever your heart desires.
Well, it's the
Oh,
80s, and that means you can smoke everywhere, so Evelyn's gonna have a cigarette. Go and bring her eggnog
You
to get refilled from Josh with some whiskey. And she puts a little sign that says, like, back in town. So all the stuff doesn't get stolen.
Not a problem. So, just for context, Beatrice, you're right here, where all the displays start up. So you can give a wave to the kiosk that's next to you. Just let them know that you're going on break.
Yeah, we cover for each other, so I'll be like, yeah, they'll cover my stall, I think.
Yeah. And as you're walking through, going back over to the food court, you are being constantly bumped by little ones running past, trying to get in line for Santa.
I drop cigarette ash on all their heads purposely. Not to burn them!
You're the
not to
worst.
burn them! Just
Beatrice, you're well practiced in this. You know how to not to burn a small child as you dump ash on top of their head. It's fine. And you know what? If their parents were watching, they would have seen it, but the parents aren't watching, so...
exactly, I'm testing all the bad parents.
There
And
we
if
go.
any of the kids look up, I'll be like, it's snowing.
Beatrice, please give me either a spot hidden or a listen.
Okay. Let me see what I am good at. I'm gonna do... Look. Guessing she's probably good at spot hidden. Yeah, she's good at that, so I'm gonna do that.
Little ones everywhere. You can't see anything. There is just a thrum of humanity right now.
Can I push it? Can I push it?
Sure, you can push it.
I'm gonna try and I don't know, ask one of the fat kids to give me a little boost up,
Okay.
so I can see over all their heads. What's the consequence if it goes wrong? I'm guessing it's gonna be bad.
Don't tell
We're
him.
not gonna know unless you fail again.
Oh,
Come on, guys.
Oh.
there you go.
Chris rolls a one and then
Yeah,
Martin
go
rolls a
fast,
one. It
heroes.
really is
I-
Christmas tonight, like.
I chose the fattest little butterball kid I could find.
Right, and after you resolve
You're
this,
trying to push
Birdie,
by. Yeah.
after you resolve this,
Yeah.
we need to do a quick pause. But only after you resolve
Oh,
this.
not a problem. Yeah, I see. Okay. No, yeah, as you're moving around, some people are bumping you, and there is a teenager that notices. He tries to put out his arm to kind of give you a little bit of space so you can actually see, and you kind of just take his arm and just push up. So you can look up and over the crowd. And immediately your eye catches onto some movement that's not a tiny child running. You see antlers moving to the crowds, multiple sets of antlers. And not like the little fake ones like on my onesie. Like proper antlers, real ones that came from a deer. Which your first thought is like, that's gonna hit someone in the eye. They're
So
not the
they'll-
tallest things.
So they're not like actual reindeer, but something with proper horns on is moving through the crowd.
Yeah, something with proper horns on. It's a bit hard to tell because the antlers themselves at their tippy top points are maybe like 5.5 feet tall. So
Okay.
Remember,
not terribly
remember he
tall
rolled a
creatures.
1 though. He did roll a 1. So
Yes. Oh,
Let's
yeah,
go,
so-
Krampus! Like I know what.
But with the 1, you see 13 distinctly.
Oh,
reindeer, that's Santa. Santa!
You see 13.
13 reindeer.
Yes. But Oliver, we can take that break now.
Thank you.
Oh, and also you see that other people do notice them. You see people kind of moving around as those antlers are moving through, and you see they're kind of flooding down the hall, moving from one end of the mall towards your end of the mall. But we're going to take a quick pause really fast.
Very fast pause, folks, just because we have one person with a frozen cam who's going to switch inputs. Back in a moment. Unpause, and we're back.
But yes, so Beatrice, you can see this wave of antlered people, deer coming towards you. And if you stand for just a bit longer, you can now start to see ears going in and out between people. So now you're like, okay, whatever's happening, there's a whole costume head thing that's going on right now. You can see a couple of them split off into the food court, but you can easily move up to them.
Yep, I'm gonna go and investigate the ones that are going to the food court because that's where I said it anyway.
Oh yeah. As you're pushing through, you can see a couple of them move around you. It's a bit weird though because like the way that they move is you just keep catching a little glimpse of something, and that's when you can actually hear little bells. Every time you can see a glimpse of one, you just hear these little bells going. And on top of that, you also, your ear kind of picks up a little bit of a clop, like they're wearing high heels. And as you get into the food court, you can now see one much, much better. And with that critical success, I'm going to let you know right now, something about them is off-putting to you. Because as adorable as they are, I'll show them right here. These little cutie patooties walking by in this very strange deer getup. You don't know if they're supposed to be reindeer for Santa or what. But when you look at them, one, that fur is definitely real. Those antlers are definitely real. You're an antiquarian, so you do recognize hide when you see it. And as an antiquarian, you're also familiar with taxidermy to an extent. And when you look at them, you're like, they would have had to have taken the deer's head and hollowed it out in such a manner they could put it over a person, which is disgusting. And then you happen just to like really kind of lean down to one, and you realize it blinks. Its eyes are moist. You can see dark, dark pupils that focus. These are not human-sized eyes. These are deer-sized eyes. You can see that the nose, it's wet, and it does that little quiver thing when it smells. As you can see, two of them have made a beeline for the Arkham apple and are staring intently at the maple fudge. They do not notice you watching them.
Evelyn comes out as being a furry supporter and marries one of them and lives happily ever after.
You're getting banned.
You just
Right, I'm going to change the overlay to 6 people just now. Martin, you're banned. It was nice knowing you.
Don't even check to see if they have a passport. For Evan and Dave, please go ahead and give me a listen or a spot hidden.
Sure. Spot hidden or listen, did you say?
Whichever one you want.
Okay, so my listen is a 40 and my spot hidden is a 65. Roll that.
You guys gotta slow down, okay? Because you're gonna get all of your extremes now.
Nice,
nice
roll, Dave.
That's about right.
But as you two stopped over at the Arkham Apple to get some treats, because they have all the things that you would want to have. They have apple cider donuts. Obviously, they have eggnog, maple sugar candies, Boston brown bread. So you know that it's literally just like a warm loaf of brown bread, and usually it has baked beans poured into it, like a bread bowl. For those of you who aren't from New England. And hot mulled cider.
I mean, half of us are from the UK. We're well familiar with beans and bread together.
Toast.
Yeah.
That's what I figured. It's like
big favourite over here. We love some bread and beans.
They'll immediately know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. We love some bread and beans.
Brown bread.
I literally had that for
and
lunch.
You two were... Oh, you had that for bread. That's weird. It's... You are both trying to figure out what you want to get for a snack. Dave, you just kind of see... you see an image in the glass reflecting, and you're kind of like, reindeer, and you look over, and you can see this person coming up in this deer costume with that extreme success. This costume's a little uncanny.
Uncanny Valley type thing.
Oh yeah, you look down
Weird.
and you can see real deer hooves rather. You see real fur. You see antlers. You know, you're a New Englander, so you know what antlers look like. You find them all the time in the woods. This is a weird choice to go if you're gonna be parading around as a reindeer. And Evan, you also can see 2 more have come around on the other side, and they seem very, very intent on the maple sugar candies that are there.
Right, so I can see they've got little hooves for feet. What's going on with their hands? How are they going to grab some to eat them? Have they got little humanoid hands or what?
So you actually can't tell because they're tucked into their sleeves. They have very long,
okay.
long sleeves.
Well, I'm going to continue
That
watch.
seem
See
to
if,
go over the hands.
I want to know if they just go up to the things and just start like grabbing them with their mouth like an
Yeah, I
animal
mean-
does, or if they grab them with some sort of hand like a human would.
Oh, they come and they put their noses like kind of right up to the glass, and you can see their
So
breath
we're
on the
inside, they're
glass
outside,
Ah,
and they're looking
okay,
through, like,
okay.
the eyes and all the good
as
stuff.
they're like looking at these treats, and you can see that they're looking at each other. You don't hear anything. You don't hear them speaking, but you see that they keep looking back at each other as if they're having a conversation.
But they're just nose like an animal. They're not trying to go for it with their
I'm
hands.
going to turn to Evan and I'm going to say, are you seeing what I'm seeing here?
Yeah, I think so, mate. I've not even started on the eggnog, mate. Yeah, we are seeing that, aren't we? What? That's a weird costume.
Yeah, and with very, very
It's a bit real.
like
It's like a taxi. It's like somebody's inside a taxidermy animal, isn't it?
Stand and watch and see what happens.
A bit weird, bit too realistic. Yeah, I'll keep watching these weirdos.
Yeah. Dave, the one that was closest to you, kind of comes around as if to try and grab some of the sugar candy. And then you see one of the 2 that's in front of Evan breaks off really fast, and it grabs that one and pulls it out. And you can see the 3 of them make this little huddle where you just see heads going back and forth as if there's conversations. At one point, you can see one is kind of like doing an exasperated movement before all 3 of them in unison turn and look at the candy, and then notice a child walk by, and all 3 start to clippity-clop after the child.
Oh, mate. Again, I'm going to have to go see what's going on.
Yeah, I'm a wee bit worried when they start going after a child.
This is
Like,
too weird.
I mean, if I saw a Santa's elf running after a child, I probably wouldn't be worried. I would then expect the elf to like wee behind the child and do some nice wholesome Christmas thing. But these are weird looking things. That's a man inside a taxidermied animal chasing after a child. It's going to frighten a child. I'm going to follow. Dave is coming with me, I assume.
Yeah.
We're going to check. Yeah, we're firemen. We're protectors of the people. We're a wee bit concerned about this. It's a bit of a worrying costume. It's a bit concerning.
Yeah.
Now, one thing is you notice is as these things are kind of running around and whatnot, they are loud. They have bells hanging from them, so they're not sneaking up on anybody.
Okay.
As they get closer, the child does turn around and sees them. And the child looks excited.
Okay.
As these 3 kind of circle around them, you see one kind of bends down and they're looking at and he oops his little nose, and you see he kind of tilts his head as the kid just reaches out and grabs ears and gives him a squeeze. You can see it lets him. One of the creatures behind the kid just very discreetly leans forward and just sniffs him as this interaction is
I'm gonna hang closer. I'm gonna hang a bit close. Like, when I get quite close, I'm concerned. I'm like, Dave.
He's looking over him before he stands back up, makes eyes with the other 2 and gives a nod. And then you see all 3 of them in unison, just a little pat on the head. They give him a little something you don't see. The kid takes it and runs off. And you can see his parents were actually just a few feet in front. They didn't notice these 3 surround their child, though, as they were looking forward.
Gotta go up to the parents.
I'm going to try and talk to one of these things.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go talk to the parents and the kids.
I'm just gonna say something like those costumes are amazing. For a mall, for a mall sort of character, I've got to say those costumes are superb. I'll go up to the one, whichever's closest to me.
Do you mean that?
Yeah, I do.
You do mean it? Okay.
I do, 100%.
You see that they kind of do that. And you note that they smile with those little muzzles. Which now enters the realm of what is happening, because that's very unnatural. As the facial features of this thing can move, can articulate. It's not a mask.
I'll take a
One
few
of
steps
them.
back.
Oh, you take a few steps back because one of them's going to
I
step
am a bit
towards you.
uneasy now. It's made me very uncomfortable. I'm not going to show panic, but I'm just going to. Okay.
You see one steps forward and just does. You wanna give a little hug?
I'm fine, thank you. I've got a phobia of
Allergies.
close contact with other human beings, and I'm just making that up on the spot.
Okay, give me a fast talk.
Oh God.
But
joking.
No, because you're an honest man. Because you're good.
You're a firefighter. You're an honest man. Yeah.
I'm not like I don't go around hugging mall characters.
You say that, and it gives one of these. The smile leaves its face.
Chuck E. Cheese walks past and he's like,
turns and it heads back towards the others. Gives a little look over its shoulder towards you. As Evan, you go on towards the parents.
the parents and the child, and I'm like, hi, and I'm gonna shake the hand of the dad and the mum and say, hi, I'm Evan, my name is Evan, and I'm gonna look at the little kid and say, what kind of candy did you get? What kind of candy did he give you? And I'm like intently looking at this kid's hands before it eats it. I want to know what he gave him.
Oh yeah, and he opens it up, and there is a beautifully decorated cookie in his hand. It looks like an ice rink, like the icing is showing an ice rink with trees and little people on the ice. It's very, very intricate. It looks like a little work of art, but you can definitely tell it's a giant sugar cookie that's the size of a child's palm. And you see the mom just goes, "Where did you get that?"
I'm waiting to see what the kid
And the
says.
kid just turns and he points. Twitch now, both parents look up and they see these creatures, and they're just...
How do the parents react?
And you see the parents, they smile and wave, and you see the dad just goes, wow, they really went all out for the Santa Alley thing.
They really
Jeez, they got... That has to be so hot. He's like, all right, let's go. We have to get in line for Santa. And they just walk off.
Okay. It's not my place to take a cookie from a child. His parents didn't take it off him, so it's not my responsibility. If that kid gets poisoned and dies, it's not my fault. The parents should have.
It's the
no.
80s. Who would give a poison cookie to a child?
The 80s, they were putting razor blades in apples, so.
But I will say, because of the people watching, Columbo, you do notice this interaction. This is actually this quick movement from this individual who you actually do recognize, Evan Hernandez and Dave Hackman, not by name, but you do know that they're firefighters. You've seen them around town before. You've seen them at town functions, so you know he's a firefighter. So you watch him chase his family, and now you see these creatures. It's moving through the crowd. People are taking notice of them.
With what they're doing?
Give me intelligence.
It's Brian.
Nice.
No, you absolutely do notice. You can see that one, that they're not alone. They tend to walk either in pairs or in triplets. And you can see that one will come up to a child while the other one will go toward the child's side or behind the child. And you can see the one in front is clearly distracting the child, while the one in the back doesn't touch the child at all, but seems to be studying something on the kid. And if there's parents, one distracts the parents, and one distracts the child, and then another one will come behind the child. And you're not sure what's going on. None of them are touching the kids or anything. You see a couple of them that will pat the top of a hat. And you see there's a couple that hand out something to the kid. And they do this whether the parents are watching them or not. You see some parents are like fine with it. They're giving them waves, they're laughing, they're, having their kids shake their hands. Other parents are looking around like, what is this?
I would know Tim, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna walk over towards Tim and ask him, hey, did you hire these guys?
No, they are not part of Santa's Alley. I was focusing all my time on that to make up. Focusing all my time on that.
So these aren't like actors or characters that have been hired?
Not from us, no. What the?
Do you have some additional security?
What the hell? Yeah, and I will. So I've got a radio on. I'll click to security channel. This is. Sorry. We got a number of people in antlers. Could I get a couple of people over here, please?
You hear back over Jordan, head of security. It's like, yeah, we have eyes on him too. Give me a second. Let me go talk to some. And then Evelyn, you're seeing this and you're hearing this exchange as well between these two men. And I'll say, Columbo, you have seen the security guards moving around the crowd. You've pointed a couple of them in the direction of a shoplifter.
I'm gonna see what happens if they get approached directly. I'm gonna start walking towards one.
You start walking towards one. Its back is to you. In almost like a magic trick, a second one steps off to the side as if it was standing right in front of the one you're walking up to. Now there's two. And they both turn to look at you as you approach. They are shorter than you, so they're looking up as you come over.
I'm going to look at them and go, you're not in trouble yet. Don't rush us there.
And you see they cock their heads and they look at each other.
Fucking Teletubbies, mate. It's fucking Teletubbies. This is the worst cosmic horror ever.
No, this predates Teletubbies, so...
Yeah.
Now we know where they got it.
Thank God.
Inspiration for Teletubbies. But they both stand there.
No one claims you. So why are you here? You're not hired by the mall. You're not hired by... The security is not aware of anybody that's hired you. So why are you here? And why are you messing with kids?
So they both look at each other. And you see one turns and he just... And you see a trio now comes over. So now there's 5 of them in front of you. They're not surrounding you, they're just in front of you. And you see one comes over, big silver bell around its neck, as it just looks up at you. And it reaches into its sleeve and hands you a little card.
I'll look at the card.
And it just says, Cheer Brigade on it. On the back, it simply says, Happy Holidays from the North. And it just looks at you expectantly.
I'm going to need an actual phone number.
You see it And they're all looking at each other before they look up at you.
Your boss.
And then they all kind of... One of them actually turns around and looks over at Santa.
So he hired you?
Your boss.
And you see that one turns back around and realizes that none of the others turned at Santa. And it's like... Oh. And you see it takes out another card that says the exact same thing. And just kind of hesitantly gives it to you as if it was expecting that was the answer that you needed. You can give me a psychology roll.
Okay.
Hard success.
Killing it tonight, boys, with the rules.
Their
Here we
body
are.
language is interesting because they stand like children in that, like, there's no true control to their limbs. They kind of just flop at the side unless they're about to do something. The way that they stand, it looks
Like
more
puppets.
for they just want to be near each other versus them like tactically trying to move around something. Their eyes are very large when they look up at you, and you get the sense that right now they are trying to communicate with you and that they're having trouble understanding some of the things that you're saying. Just from the way that they keep looking at each other, looking at you. You can see a couple of them kind of do a little bit of a gesture with their hands, like they don't understand what you're looking for.
How about we go over to one of the back hallways and we have a conversation without the costume?
And you see they all just look at each other again.
I'm like,
And then you actually see them. And then one of them just turns. One of them turns and sees a very large father walking. This guy's like 6'2", 280 pounds, walking by, and he just kind of runs over and grabs this man's sleeve and gives a little tug on it. And this guy turns and looks down. He has two teenagers with him, but he turns and looks down and over, and sees this little dude. And he's just like, "Oh, that's really cool. Hey, boys, look at these costumes." And the other four immediately run over to them and allow them to get whisked into the crowd.
Used a diversion tactic to get away from you, little fucks.
yep.
And then Evelyn, once again, you're seeing and hearing all of this because you were standing next to Tim when Columbo approached. And you know that Columbo is a detective, by the way, Evelyn.
It's the eyes that give it away.
I'm going to call in and ask if there's been any kidnapping rings going around. Any word of a kidnapping ring going around?
Yeah. If you just wait about 30 seconds, you can hear at the station they say that they don't have any new open missing persons cases.
What about nearby towns? Got a weird group running around trying to get close to kids here at the mall.
Yeah, you hear dispatch says that they'll check. So give them like 20, 30 minutes.
They're dressing in deer costumes.
And you hear dispatch is like reindeer?
Yeah. Only it looks like they made them out of real deer.
And they just go, "Detective Columbo, can you just not? It's the holidays." Okay.
They're having none of your shit.
Frank, just you're supposed to be getting a present for your niece, Frank.
I give him a cigarette, even though I don't actually know him that well. I just put one in his mouth.
As you walk by, this woman just puts a cigarette in her mouth.
Look, I'm still a cop, even if the world stops making sense.
You say to dispatcher, "Just give me 30 minutes, please." And then you say, "Why don't you go take a picture with Santa?
Picture.
He probably knows who the deer
Santa.
are."
I'm gonna walk over to the guy taking pictures with Santa. I'm gonna go, I'll give you $20 if you can get a picture of one of them.
You just cut the line of all these children?
Sure.
There's like
I'll walk
50
over, flash my
children.
badge. I was like, it'll take him 2 seconds.
Flashing the
$20.
badge to get cut the line for Santa.
Flash is the badge of Santa. You see? Tim, Santa, he's your bowling buddy, just FYI. You know, his name's Al. he just
Okay.
generally looks like Santa, and he said he'd do you a solid. So, this is his first year being Santa. This guy walks over and just flashes a cop badge at him.
No,
But you
the guy taking pictures with Santa.
Oh, taking pictures.
The
Oh,
pho-
okay.
yeah, the photographer. I want a
Photographer.
picture
Not
of
the same, like,
these
oh my
deer.
god.
I want a picture of these deer.
When you see the photographer, it's just
So,
like,
if he's doing a Polaroid or something like that, get
Yeah, it's
a
a Polaroid.
Polaroid from him, and so I can send that up, fax it over or whatever, and then I'm also going to ask the Santa, hey, did you hire these guys? While I've disrupted the situation.
yeah, he's gonna take that money and just literally just turn, because there's one right near him. Flash. Turn back. Takes out the
Send me a
Polaroid.
picture.
Hands it to you.
Does it is it there?
Oh, you got it. Yeah, shake it,
Yeah.
obviously.
Oh yeah. So for the next
no, yeah,
minute
they
while
show up in
I'm-
the picture.
Okay.
Yeah, they show up in the picture. You call out to Santa. Are
You can-
these with you?
Shaking Polaroids is a myth, by the way. Does nothing.
I know. It doesn't do
I know.
shit.
But
But you're calling up to Santa.
did you hire
Um,
these guys? Pointing them out.
So Tim, Al knows that you asked him to come be Santa. He said that he was going to have a couple of your employees help him out, so he wasn't just alone with the kids. And that's all he knows. So when you ask that, he pauses and he looks and sees these deer creatures, which he's been watching a bit, and he just goes, "Yes, those are my little helpers. Everybody wave." As you can now see, they all look up when he speaks, because he does have a booming voice. They all look up as he speaks. As they all now start to bounce up and down and wave at the crowd, as the crowd turns and waves to all of them.
Well, he verified it.
Yeah, Santa, verified by Santa. You can't really
That's
fucking argue
right.
with that. Like, Santa's omnipresent anyway. So
Because I've been watching all this and I knew straight away that these things are basically mutant somethings. Can I go and grab a payphone? I want to ring my Professor Blackwell.
Oh yeah, not a problem.
I'm gonna find a payphone and ring him and say, "Hey, buddy, can I throw some ideas at you? I think there's something weird going on. I want to describe these creatures, and also that there's 13, and that I think maybe there's something occulty going on."
You seem to go like, "Yeah, sure. What do you got?"
Well, I guess I give them a description and say there's 13 of them. I mean, I guess
Yes.
that's what I already got, but I'm like, yeah, do you know anything about, like, deer people? 13.
So,
Seem very interested in children.
13 is the number of Santa's reindeer, by the way. Donner and Dasher and Blitz, and it totals 13. So that's significant
Well,
in that way.
He might just tell me the story of Santa on the phone and think I'm drunk again. But, yeah.
Well,
Have you
he-
never
he
heard of
knows,
Santa Claus?
It's like, what? You?
he does know that you are currently at the mall at your kiosk. He does know that. So he knows that you're probably not drunk.
Yeah.
Probably.
I mean, I would like to do some I'd like to do some library research, but I don't think I'll be able to do it at the library. So my only thing I can think of is to call my friend.
Also-
No, it's
Maybe
okay. You know a guy.
Also, remember,
No,
it's
guys,
Christmas. He
it's-
could be drunk. It's Christmas. He could be drunk.
That doesn't work in the United States.
It's just the 80s.
It's the
It is the
80s, aye.
80s,
Everything
right.
was wilder in the 80s. You were drunk at Christmas in the 80s, even Americans. Definitely.
Beatrice is a responsible store owner, though. She is a responsible shopkeeper. She's not going to hurt her income, her bottom line. But he does note that 13 is a Santa's deer thing. But he just simply states like he's asking you if you can clarify like, why are you asking? Because it's gonna change the information he gives you.
I I think it's because I think they're like. I guess I'm trying to figure out, like, if you were describing like a goblin or something, if I describe these creatures, can he match that to some like myth or legend? Like.
Yeah, there's a couple of things in folklore, but in different parts of the world. So, for instance, in the United States, there's folklore of deer that walk on two legs, and they're considered to be evil spirits. But then if you go into Northern Europe, there's also these deer-like creatures, but, and they are Santa-related. Well, yeah, I could say they're Santa-related. They're related to Saint Nicholas, Perchton. I'm not really sure how to pronounce it, but, they're little deer people that are supposed to go around and find, good children and give them treats or whatnot. They're kind of like, the opposite of Krampus.
Well, that sounds positive. He says, you should get down here then, because I'm pretty sure they're here if you want to party.
They hired Perchton? What? No one's gonna know what they are. They're just gonna think they're reindeer. That's what?
I mean, I don't know, maybe...
It's like a Norway thing.
I think maybe the store manager's gone all out this year for culture.
Oh. Oh, that's really cute. Yeah, I'll come on down. It's getting pretty bad, but yeah, I'll try to make it over there.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, the only other thing is I'd try and go to... Is there an occult bookshop in the mall?
There's a kiosk. There's a
bookstore.
Yeah, there's a bookstore, but it has a new age section. I don't want to just be straight up occult, but you do know that there's another kiosk in Santa's Alley. You kind of know who the lady is just because you guys work in the same circles, but it's called the Elder Stone.
Okay.
She has a new age store, a lot of gems and whatnot, but she also has, incense, tarot cards, candles, and some books on the occult.
Oh, okay, because I know that might take me, but I'm gonna head over to her store and see if I can do a bit of research then.
Yeah, absolutely not a problem at all. Can you go ahead and give me a spot hidden while you do that?
Okay.
Extreme.
Check you out.
So you push through, and you're now, you're kind of paying attention to these little things as they run around, and you can tell that they're never running by themselves. They tend to be in pairs, they tend to be in triplets. But then also you can see that none of them are by the Elderstone kiosk. Like, not a single one. These things are running up to everything. But they are deliberately staying away from this kiosk. And you can see Allie, the woman who owns that store. You see her sitting there, just looking incredibly uncomfortable, staring at these things. From a distance, because they are keeping a distance from her. And you can see that she's fiddling with something around her neck.
I put a cigarette in her mouth because that's how I greet people apparently. And then I'm like, hi.
She looks up at you, recognizes you.
It's really helping with the
She's
80s
like
immersion, Marc, and I love it.
I don't
Making
know.
people smoke.
Aye, making people smoke. Aye, everybody should have a cigarette in their mouth. It's the 80s.
She does the unfilters.
It's a 2-year-old walking by with a cigarette.
Hey, we had candy cigarettes in the 80s. I remember having boxes.
They did.
Yeah.
I ate those a lot.
Candy versions for kids.
I
That's how
ate
much we loved cigarettes in the 80s and 90s. It was candy ones for kids.
Oh yeah. But Allie, she looks up to you. Beatrice, right? Hi.
She's like, yeah. She's like, I know this is a bit of a, because I don't know you that well, but have you noticed the weird deer things? They kind of seem a little bit more something than, they seem more supernatural than natural. And I guess I would have heard the rumors because I've been listening into conversations, so I'd know maybe that they've not been hired. Would I have heard that?
Yeah, we could say you've heard that. You've been moving around through this crowd.
Okay.
Give me a charm or persuasion.
Okay. I can persuade.
Oh, you want to spend your luck for that?
Oh,
Yeah,
it's only
It's not
one.
off.
It's only one, Martin.
Just one.
Yeah.
One
Martin.
point. I'll do
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Do us a favour, Martin. Switch your 3D dice
So-
on.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Thank you.
She looks at you when you say that, and she looks over what's happening over there before she looks back, and she just goes, "Yeah, those things aren't human. I'm pretty positive." And she's like, "What? Watch this." And you see she goes and she takes a bag and she empties it into her hand, and you see they're runes, but they're just like on wood. And she holds it and she kind of gets up and she walks over to an area and she very quickly just like tosses it at the ground. And you can see as it starts to skitter across the ground that the little deer creatures near it all kind of hop up and immediately move out of the way. And she comes back and she's like, "I think we should leave. I think we should go. I really hope you don't think I'm crazy, but those things aren't human at all. And they're also like not supposed to be here, period. Like in this country at all. They're kind of like a European thing. I don't know what's happening, but
I mean, I guess we could call ICE and see if they'll deport them, but I don't know.
Not around.
we're gonna have to wait until the best president who's ever existed comes
Oh
to
my
power.
god. You're all banned. I'm just doing this solo from now on.
ICE did not exist in the 80s.
Oh.
But she just like looks at you and she just goes, I really hope that you're not gonna think I'm crazy. But I think these things, they're like a type of elf. It's like, I think I'm saying that right. But they look different than what I've read about.
But why would they be here? Isn't it like weird for them to be wandering around a shopping mall?
Honestly, if this had been any other town, I would say absolutely, but it's Arkham. I'm going to guess that there's something here that's brought them here. Like something physically is here. Like a totem or an item or something.
Something in one of the
Okay.
shops.
I mean, maybe we can gather. I guess to make it easier, I could be maybe like, I think I've seen some other upstanding citizens kind of maybe noticing this. Maybe we could get together and see if we can figure something out. What do you think? I know
You
you
see,
need to go. I know you want to go, but I feel that maybe. I mean, it's interesting. I would like to figure out what's going on.
You see, she looks over, and there's 3 of these creatures staring at her. And they look down to the runes that she threw on the ground and look up to her, and she just goes, I think I really need to leave.
Yeah. It's like, have you got any more of those runes that they run away from? Have you got selling them or the book on
Oh,
them?
yeah, here. And she gives you another bag. Here, these are carved from Elder Tree.
Okay. I mean,
think
if
They'll
we
do
say
something.
if I save the world, I will put your name on the, that you helped.
Cool. And you can see that now there's 5 staring at her. And she's just like, I think I gotta go. And you see that she very discreetly starts to pull out the tarp and starts to place it over her table. There were a couple people like on the other side that were perusing. And she just goes, can I help you with the purchase? Because I'm going to be leaving soon. And she just starts to kind of clear her customers away.
Okay. I'm gonna try and gather everyone else. I guess I'll go to the firemen because they're together. I'll be like,
I was gonna say, can we see this going on, or have we moved on?
Now, because you're at the food court, you actually get a really good view of the entire main hallway.
If I see 5 of them like standing near her,
Yeah,
all staring
yeah,
at her, I'm
definitely.
gonna be getting close
It's
to
like
that.
they're intimidating. We're gonna
Aye.
intervene, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dave,
They're not
look,
being
look.
discreet about it.
Me and Dave will
Yeah, they're
go
not being
check.
discreet at all.
Nah, so me and Dave are over there then.
We'll go
So
over
I'm
there.
gonna-
and
Okay.
try and
I'm
disrupt.
gonna hand off
Fine.
the picture to Tim.
Mhm.
So, and ask him to get that faxed over to the police department. I believe faxes still did exist back
They
then.
do.
Fax
They're
would be a thing.
operative. Yeah. Tim
They
has
should
the
have-
only Radio Shack in the county at his mall. So, Tim, just so you know, the Arkham Mall is like the county mall. Arkham as a town is too small
Okay.
to have a mall, but like the county that you're in,
Yeah.
it's like the whole county comes to this mall. And you can pass that picture off to one of your security guards, no problem.
Get it over to the police station.
Oh, when we get there, or when me and Evan get there, I'm gonna try and defuse the situation. Is the one there that tried to give me a hug there?
In the 5 that's standing there,
Yeah.
yes.
I'm gonna go over being really loud and say, I'm really sorry. I feel terrible. I should have given you a hug last time when you went for a hug. So I'm gonna stand there and hold my arms out. Just
Are you being truthful?
absolutely.
Are you sorry?
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
You're gonna
100%.
pull its thing
I'm
off,
ju-
see who's under
I'm
that.
just trying to disrupt the vibe that they're sending out.
Pull
so
its head
I'm-
off.
I'm being really loud, and I'm so sorry. I should have hugged you. I feel really terrible.
Okay. It turns, it sees, and it comes over and it hugs you. This thing is a hug is like around your leg. They're all varying heights. None of them, like as far as the top of their head, none of them are standing over like 5'5". So the one that comes over and hugs you, it's about 5 feet tall, not including its antlers. So it hugs you like around your waist, essentially. Give me a power roll, please.
Ooh,
Oh.
not good.
Where are we? Oh, that's is that on the main? Oh, where is it?
Yep, it's
Your
up
power
near
roll?
the top.
Yeah, it's gonna.
It's
yeah,
on
it's
the
That's
bottom
at the
row
top,
of
so one of your
stats at the
stats.
top.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
Oh, Dave.
I am in Dave.
We are all on fire with the roast tonight, boys, eh?
I know. You give it a big hug. What's one of Dave Hackman's like favorite Christmas memories as a child?
As a child, oh god.
Yeah. What's like one of your like sticks with you, makes you like Christmas type of?
I'm just trying to figure out how old he is. He was in his 30s, so he'd have been in the 60s as a kid when he got a Beatles album for Christmas. A Beatles LP.
Love, love me do.
Is it?
You know
You actually,
I
so
love
this
you.
little guy comes and he gives you this hug, and you just suddenly just have this flashback of sitting, in the living room on shag carpet. You can feel the paper underneath your hands as you're ripping open this Christmas paper, and you can see this LP that you didn't think your parents were gonna get because it was a bit of an odd choice. They were expecting something a little bit more like a car or something, like a toy car or something of that nature, but you really loved your music. And it's just like a really nice memory that hits you. It's a bit odd that it kind of just came up right now in this very uncomfortable situation, but you look down and this little thing just looks up at you as it hugs you. And you see its eyes get impossibly dark.
I'm getting goosebumps now, by the way. Just
And
Seriously,
it squeezes a little bit harder before it just lets go and it goes back to the group.
okay.
Your pal drops 15 points.
And you can see that the others were watching this hug as it happened.
Mhm.
As the other one just comes over back to them, and they all look at it, and it just looks at them, and they all just turn back to now see that woman she's like fully closing down shop. So they lose interest now that she's leaving, and they turn and start to head back into the group. And we're gonna go ahead and take a little break right there.
Amazing. See you in 13 minutes, Twitch. And we're back for part 2 of the Christmas caper. Merry Christmas, everybody.
So, Mr. Dave Hackman, you just got a very lovely hug.
Mhm.
You had a very interesting memory that flashed up. Now, one thing is, when you had that memory, you were still conscious of who was hugging you. And it felt very much of like when your dog jumps up and you go to give it a hug, the way the shoulder blades are located, the way the arms come around. You can tell that you're not hugging a human. And it's the same with this little creature. But it hops off. It looks pretty happy with the hug.
I'm going to step back a couple of steps in a very uneasy state and say to Evan, that was the weirdest thing ever.
They are weird thing. It's a weird, very weird costume using like a real taxidermy of a deer or whatever they've done there.
No. When it hugged me, it was like, I don't know, just I had a flashback of something that happened when I was a kid. It was weird, and it didn't feel like a person.
What do you mean? It didn't feel like a person?
It didn't feel like a person.
You have a conversation about you hugging on small things and not feel like a person.
Yeah, small people have feelings too.
As you're having this conversation, Evan, you feel something brush against your hand. You look down, and there's another one, and it just goes like this.
It's putting me on the spot. I can't say
you put your
no.
hands up, and it gives you it thinks that you want the hug. It gives you the hug.
Okay, I hug it.
Power roll.
Okay. Power.
And outside Columbo,
Oh,
go
I
ahead
would
and
have
give
to
me
feel.
a
Wait
spot hidden.
a minute. Is it worth 10 luck, Birdie?
Can you use that on POW?
You've got your thing as well. Don't forget.
Can you use luck on power?
You can't
Good
use
question.
it on. You can't use it on sanity, luck, or damage.
But I think you can use it on power. But also, I've got my Christmas miracle roll, don't I?
You do have your Christmas miracle roll.
Would I be wasting it on this?
Because you're my friend, I'm gonna let you know it's not wasted. But as a keeper, I'd really love to see you fail this.
I'm gonna use my Christmas bonus, and it's just a reroll, not a bonus dice. It's a whole reroll, yeah.
It's in a complete reroll.
Okay. I failed again.
Oh no!
It's even worse.
Ooh, felt worse.
Do you want to use your luck?
Can I use luck on the 70, or do I have to use it on the 90?
You re-rolled.
Yeah. It's a completely new roll.
You can't use luck on a push, but that's not a push. No, I'm not going to.
That does not count as a push. Does not count as a push.
I'm not going to spend 30 luck. Can you push power?
Yeah.
You can't push power,
Yeah,
can you? Because it's subconscious. I'm just going to have to fail it. I'm going to fail it. I'm not spending 30 luck.
Do it. 30,
Nah.
30.
Nah.
That's where this goes.
I'll take the fail. I want to see where it goes. I'll take the fail.
Okay. Yeah, this little guy comes up and he hugs you. It's all right. This may not mean anything, but give me a memory from Evan's childhood of where he was very, very naughty and he knew he was naughty.
Okay, so when Evan and his little brother were young, back in Brazil, they had a father who did a job with keys, and they found this key. Then the key could open up the streetlights, and through investigating inside the streetlights, Evan and his little brother found out what the fuse was, and that you could take it out, and then the streetlight wouldn't come on at night because it didn't have a fuse. And then we proceeded to go around the neighbourhood for about 2 or 3 blocks and do this to all the streetlights, and then we buried them in a hole. And then that night, the street didn't have any light. The three or four streets didn't have any light, and I'm sure it would have cost the council a lot of money and man hours to fix it.
So you never returned the fuses?
No.
They're buried to this day? Okay, so to be clear, Evan buried these fuses, never gave them back. Correct?
Yep, never gave them back.
Okay.
Don't know if the council ever found them, or if they just had to put new ones in, or...
This little guy's hugging you, and he pauses. You can feel his antlers pressing against you, and then like looks up, and you can see his eyes are extremely dark, like completely blacked out, which that doesn't feel good. What feels worse is you see it smile, and you see it smile in such a manner that it doesn't feel like a good smile. It feels like it knows the naughty thing that you did as a child, and it loves that you did that.
And it knows I was naughty.
And the air around you gets suddenly very, very, very cold.
Oh.
In fact, all of you can feel the air around you getting very cold. You can see your breath now starting to come out. You can see it's happening for a lot of people. They're suddenly, whew, what's going on? Tim, you feel the temperature in your mall drop drastically all of a sudden, and you're like, what just happened? As now snow starts to fall inside of the mall.
Maintenance. Tim to maintenance. Come in. We need
Tim,
the AC fixed.
Tim, what? I'm down by the unit right now. There's nothing wrong with it. It's still going. What's wrong?
Yeah, can you pump up the heat then? It's starting to
Ice in the room.
snow inside.
And as you're trying to say this, you can hear the mic start to cut in and out. Evelyn, you feel something brush the back of your jacket. And when you turn around, you can see 3 little deer creatures behind you. Evelyn, please go ahead and give me a power roll. The rest of you can see these little guys are now practically running through the crowd. Very excited. And Evelyn, as these 3 stare up at you, you feel like you're being asked, how much do you want to know? Because you like knowing when people are naughty, just like they do. How many naughty things do you want to know? As they all stare up at you, Evelyn.
all of the naughty things.
And they ask you, do you know the naughty things? What are you going to do with them?
Depends. I might use it for leverage. I might use it for... Depends. I don't know you anything. Why? What are you going to tell me?
You can see one of them gets a very mischievous look on its face as it grows from 5'2" to 5'6" to 5'9" to 6'5". Its limbs elongate. Its fur darkens, becomes matted. Its antlers become black and twisted. A long forked tongue comes out of its mouth. The 2 next to it have also transformed. As you now see these 3 creatures in front of you look very, very different from the cute little deers that you saw before. Tim, you don't see this. They still look like cute little deers to you, but Evelyn, when you look around, you can see that each of those little creatures now looks like these monstrosities.
That sanity check for her, is it?
Want to see what he says.
Just waiting
Yeah,
to see.
okay.
I
I wanted to see what he did.
I'm gonna be like taken aback and taking steps back from this transforming monster. Like if it's went from cuteness to fucking horror, like fucked.
It's gonna follow you as you step back. Go ahead and give me a sanity roll.
First sanity roll.
Wanted to see if there was something you would
First
say.
sanity roll of the game. Oh, that's...
Alright,
Oh, you
gonna
can't
be
spend luck on
a
this, can you?
1d4. A 1d4. Now, Tim, you do see Evelyn's demeanor has changed, and she's backing away from these 3 little ones in front of her. They're not moving, but she looks, Evelyn, look. Chris?
Sorry, say again.
I said, how does Evelyn look right now?
Fucking disheveled and afraid, like you've just seen a fucking monster spawn in front of me. I've never seen anything or experienced anything like this before, but a slight intrigue at the same time.
Okay. So, Tim, you see this change that's come over Evelyn.
Evelyn, are you okay?
Can you see these big beastie 6-foot monsters in front of me? Do you think I'm okay? And I continue to step back.
I look down at the antlered creature.
Tim, go ahead and give me a power roll.
Easy peasy.
Yeah, she says this, and you look down at this creature, and you're like, little big-eyed reindeer, and you kind of squint, and its form starts to shift a little bit as you squint at it, trying to see something that's not being presented to you. I'm going to give you an option. You can choose to automatically fail your sanity, or you can just do a roll and see what happens.
I will step between her and it and make a roll.
Okay.
Music up a wee bit, Birdie.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Ooh.
Oh,
Almost.
close, mate.
As you step in between, just kind of like, don't know what's going on. You're looking at this little creature like you're not sure what's happening as you are still squinting, trying to figure out what's going on. And there's a blink in your vision, and then you're now seeing what she was talking about as this behemoth of a half deer, half man stands in front of you.
I do a 180, look straight at Evelyn, go, yes! What the hell is that?
You feel a hand on your back as you say, what the hell is that? Tim, I need to know what was the naughtiest thing you did as a child.
It was here. There was a booth out selling candies, and I stole boxes of that because the person never was looking in the back in the corner. She was always looking out to the patrons, and I felt horrible about that because I ate them and got so sick, and that was I felt bad physically, and I attributed that to actual conscience, and it has sort of from then on I can't eat chocolates.
Because you feel guilty, or because it just makes you feel sick?
Both. It reminds me of what I did, and I came to work here sort of as a penance, try to make up for that. But that didn't work in 81. Didn't work now.
So that flashes in front of your mind, the rush of taking the candy, what the candies tasted like, and then that regret. And that it still lingers. And it lets go. And it gives you a glare before it stomps off. Its hooves much louder now as it goes into the crowd. The crowd is not responding like you and Evelyn. Evelyn, as these things walk by, one walks next to you and just puts a hand on your elbow. What's the naughtiest thing Evelyn's ever done?
She shot her granny on Christmas Day with the BB gun that they got bought for Christmas.
And how did she feel about
Fuck
that?
me.
She didn't feel very much because she went to the hospital and had to get it removed.
No, not Granny. How did
Oh.
Evelyn feel about shooting Granny?
Granny was fucking raging.
Yeah, how did Evelyn feel about that?
Evelyn thought it was funny at first, but then when she seen an adult cry for the first time, she realized that she had done really bad. And she's always felt really bad about it every time that she sees her with her one eye. It reminds her.
Ooh.
So Evelyn feels really bad. You can see that this thing leans down and its head, just like its face, is in front of you, and it gives a chuckle before it asks you once again, lips not moving, but you can hear it asking, do you want to help punish naughty people?
My job is to find justice, so yes.
And you see its smile widens before it just lets go of you and starts to walk away. I'm gonna say, Columbo, just give me a power roll, just because of your profession and what you've experienced in Arkham before. I'm gonna say you're gonna get just a free crack at this.
Check you out.
The temperature drops. It starts to snow. You know, Arkham can be a weird place. You've had some weird things come across your desk, so you instinctively look around for those little creatures, and you see how excited they are, just running around. Something's happened that's made them excited, and as they're running, you're watching their forms twist and elongate, and you're seeing limbs start to snap in different places as new joints are coming out. As they continue to run around excited, can you give me a spot hidden with a bonus roll?
With a bonus, okay.
With a bonus roll, because you were looking at it before.
Is that...
Oh, so your roll?
You just roll regularly.
And then in roll 20, you'll see where it says bonus penalty at the bottom of the roll.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So spot hidden.
There we go.
And then bonus penalty?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So 58 and a
Still just
60.
a normal success. As you're watching these things run around, now they're in their horrific shape. Oh, Tim. Nope, you did it. As they're in this horrific shape, one, go ahead and give me a sanity roll. And two, you watch as one runs up, takes a sack that they didn't have before, and just slams it over a child.
Oh, fuck.
Picks
Here
it
we
up
go.
and
Here we
keeps
go.
running. So go ahead and roll me a 1d4. As you see, not only this transformation, but this child just gets so effortlessly snatched.
You could not
And
write
his
it.
parents do not notice.
Oh, shit.
Tim tries to let it a gasp, and his words just get caught in his throat. And he reaches out towards the empty spot where this kid had been.
Yeah, and Tim, the parents are just looking forward straight at Santa. They do not notice that their child has been taken. Evan.
Yeah, he
Yes.
Oh,
goes
yeah,
up
go
and
ahead,
tries to, like, shake them.
Do they give you a confused look before they start to walk away?
Oh, no, your kid. And he looks back, and points to where'd that thing go? Does it have the bag?
And you see that they're looking at you. And the woman just says, "I'm sorry, we don't have a kid." As they keep walking. You saw them holding this child's hand before. This little boy that was here, about 6 years old. You saw them both holding his hand for like 20 minutes. But the woman just says, "We don't have a kid," as they walk off into the crowd. Looking down as these creatures run around, clearly not seeing the new form that they're in. Now, Evan, the one that hugged you, kept the hug as it smiled. And then you felt the arms start to shift up your body as this thing grew. Became at one point eye level with you, and is now looking down at you. The big smile, as it is now shifted. Please go ahead and give me a sanity roll.
2 seconds. Just write it in my notes. Shit. Sanity roll. Thank you. Got it. Success.
Alright, so you just lose 1 point of sanity.
Okay.
Dave, you see Evan like start to look up, and you're not really sure what's going on.
I go over and put my hand on his shoulder to sort of pull him away from, even though I can only see it as this little thing. I take it because I know what I experienced.
I mean, I'm trying to pull away now anyway. I'm
I'm
fucking doing what I can to get away from it,
what you
buddy.
can see, but I can see that something's not right about this interaction.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
You
trying
gotta
to
put
push
your
away
hand
now.
on his shoulder.
Yeah.
And you see this in your mind's eye. It's a memory, but you realize it's not your memory. And you see a little Evan running around with his brother late at night. Just taking these fuses and burying them. And when you come out of this memory, you look and you see exactly what he's looking at. As this thing doesn't pay you any mind, but it gives you a wink, and it runs off into the crowd. And you see as it runs, it just very casually dips down, scoops a child, and keeps going.
What? You're not in a trance now, so I'm gonna say, have you?
No, I'm not in a
Have you
trance,
seen
am I,
that?
buddy?
Have I just seen that?
Yeah, no, I'm not in a trance, am I? Did I manage to get
No,
away
you're
from
not.
this thing?
No.
Can I go after it then when I see it get taking a child?
You do something.
Oh,
Yes, you
aye.
can.
Aye, I'm a fireman. This is my job.
Can I look around to see if there is
Police! I yell police, security, and I chase this thing.
All right, so Evan, give me a dexterity. Dave, you know where the fire axes are in the small. Columbo, I'm going to say that because Evan's shouting,
Failure.
which is very distinct from what's happening, you notice him take off into the crowd.
Pushing it.
Evan, you're trying to. This thing is bobbing and weaving like it is made out of wind.
I'm pushing it.
And okay, go ahead, push. As you try to redouble your efforts.
So to push it, I'm going to. So there's like a crowd of people in my way, and I'm going to I jump up on some decoration stand to then jump over some people to try and get through the crowd. That's how I'm pushing it.
All right, go ahead.
Come on! Oh no! I have the worst
You're
luck with
trying to
dice.
get eyes on this thing. You run up, get up on top, and you're looking around. You can see it, and you're trying to go after him. Snow is still falling though, and you immediately fall off. Eat shit, and go ahead and roll me a 1d2 of damage. As you ride onto the ground, the crowd goes. They look down and see you. A couple people start to come over to help you up.
2 damage.
Yeah. As
Great.
angelic Christmas music comes on, just to make that feel a little bit worse.
Great.
But Dave, you're able to easily
Fucking
get a
catch
fire
them,
action. You
Dave!
know
Go,
where everything
Dave!
is.
Go! I'm lying on my arse. I'm fucked. Get him, Dave.
Yeah, I'm grabbing a fire axe just to feel comfy because them things don't look right. So
Frank and Beatrice, you see what David's doing. Frank, you see what's going on. Beatrice, you see these little things start to run around willy-nilly at this point in time.
And I see them as the larger creatures now?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to turn to Tim and tell him, evacuate. And then I am going to attempt to, if I see one running with one of these kids in a bag, I'm going to attempt to grab one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to attempt to, so I don't know if that's going to be, if I need to run up to get to them or if I can, if
So give me a
one's near me.
dexterity.
Dexterity, all right.
Dexterity. Beatrice, you can see that there's a little bit of mayhem breaking
Frank.
out, but you're not entirely sure. Yeah. These things they're moving through the crowd unnaturally, as if there's no resistance for them as they move.
Well, because Ali was saying that she thinks maybe something's drawn them here, as in like maybe a symbol or an object. Can I be like trying to assess if there's like a key point that they seem to be going towards, or
Strange
a
Arkham.
glowing rock or something?
Strange Arkham. The Strange Arkham exhibit that shouldn't be here at Christmas.
Go ahead,
yeah,
give me an appraisal roll.
Okay.
Or an occult roll. One of the two. Appraisal or occult.
I think I'm pretty good at one. I think I have appraisals 55. My cult's 75 there, so I'll do that.
Oh, check you out.
Yes.
Also,
You always have to have a spooky gal.
Brian, are you pushing or anything with your roll? Are you doing anything?
I was
with
debating pushing. I'll go ahead and push. I was just waiting because there was a conversation going.
Yeah.
You can go ahead and
That's
push.
alright.
I thought you were. Oh no.
What I tell you guys about doing all those successes too early.
True.
Frank, you're trying to push after them, but once again, between the crowd, and it's now getting very slippery, not only do you fall, but you knock over several people, and you are just a tangle of limbs at this point in time. Go ahead and roll me a 1d4. See how hard you hit that ground.
Absolute limbs.
Beatrice. Beatrice, you're going off of what Ali said. Something was here, and you're just thinking, okay, yeah. Tim, Frank, you break your wrist.
Oh, fuck me.
You have a hairline fracture. You can choose which wrist it is. Beatrice, it occurs to you with that hard success that you saw something before that you're just like, and you kind of kept going. But back by your stand, you had those Arkham little displays next to you, and you distinctly remember, what was it, in the Hall of Records, essentially, the second little kiosk, you saw a snow globe that caught your eye just because the little figurine in it, it was a wooden, and it was carved, and it was a deer standing on two legs, and you thought, oh, that's very strange, because you clocked it as like a Native American idol, and you thought it was very strange that somebody put it in a snow globe. And also draped like a stupid little Santa robe over it. So, you saw it was donated by the Arkham Historical Society, so you figured one of them made the snow globe with the stupid thing in it, but it was very strange to you because that's like a true artifact, and they shoved it in a snow globe and put water all over it.
Can I assess when I get a chance, like, does it look like stuff set up to be a ritual setup of magic or something, like where things are positioned, like on the display?
You go over to it, and you see it sitting very prominently on its own little shelf thing. And you can see the snow inside of it is swirling. And when you look outside, you can see the snow is kind of the same intensity. And it wasn't...
Brian.
Somebody must have shaken it, because it wasn't doing that before. But it seems to be just by itself. And with that hard success, I'm going to say that you also now notice the filigree on the base. As you just gave it a casual look, you were more interested in the figurine, but now looking at that filigree, you can see that there are symbols etched in there that are not Native American. You're not sure what they are, but you know what they're not. They're not Native American, they're not from a Romantic language, they're not from an Oriental language. It definitely looks occulty.
Gonna pick up. I'm gonna pick it up. I'm not gonna break it yet.
Spike it like a football. Spike it like a
Fucking
football.
smash it, mate.
I'm gonna.
I'm
Dunk
gonna
it
say
like
you're gonna
Jordan.
go pick it up. I need you to give me a dexterity roll.
It's just to grab the objects. I need to do a dexterity roll.
And I'll tell you what it's for. Go ahead and give me the roll.
Okay.
You're getting sideswiped.
Yogi, she'll
I
tell
will
you. in a
say
minute.
I found this song and I got it specifically
Only
for you
12,
lads. So you
Can I-
go to grab this item.
Can I use my luck to pump it up to a success?
Absolutely, you can use your luck.
So that's only how many points do I need?
12.
The 12. 12's worth it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
well
use
worth
12.
it, mate. At this point, definitely worth
Okay.
it.
Okay, so you use your luck. So you grab it's a snow globe. You grab it very easily, and in the reflection of the snow globe, you can see coming up behind you one of these little deer creatures. Except it's flashing between this cute little deer thing and this giant monstrosity that you definitely recognize as a Krampus,
Right.
and it's coming straight for you.
I mean, I guess did I duck out the way, or was that me just?
Smash your snow globe, mate.
Yes, it
Smash the
was
snow globe on
going
its
up to
head.
reach for you. As now you
That's-
see two more coming for you. Evan and Dave, you see this starting to happen
Okay.
as four more immediately shift direction and all start running in a very deliberate location.
Okay, music down 10%.
Tin and Columbo, you're closest to Beatrice and Evelyn.
Okay. I'm just not going to care about the risk at the moment. I'm going to dive in front of them. Brawl the nearest one.
Yeah, I'm also tackling the nearest one. Running and spear tackling the nearest one. Put the music
Give
down,
me strength rolls.
down 10% on the music,
Oh,
birdie.
yes.
Okay, I'm just watching levels.
Not happening.
Anybody who wants can do a strength roll.
That's 16, 26. No, I'll.
Success for me.
Yeah, you wrap your hands around one's waist.
Yes.
I'll go sprinting over with the axe and sort
Go,
of
go on, Dave.
not hit them with the axe because I don't know if they're human yet or not, but sort of like try and push them back.
So you're kind of fighting with one, trying to
Chop
keep
its
it
head
at
off.
bay. I'm gonna say, and then Frank, you said you spent luck.
I was
didn't hear
debating it. I think I'd rather push.
Okay, go ahead and give me a push.
60% chance,
I
mate.
can't use brawl instead because I have brawling as a fighting skill.
Oh, you can fight it if you want.
Yeah,
If you
that's what
wanna
I'd
just-
rather.
Straight
I mean-
fisticuffs. You can. It'll be with a penalty though because you broke your wrist.
You can use the other hand.
Okay.
You,
And I've got brass knuckles.
you said he could pick what wrist it
You
is,
do
so...
have you do have brass knuckles. Yeah, he can pick which wrist it is.
So I'm appealing for him not to have a
Well,
penalty dice then, because if it's bad hand's broken, it's only punching with one hand. Broken wrist doesn't give you a penalty on punching with one hand. I'm appealing that.
So I'll say for the first brawl, you do not have to have a penalty, but if it engages you in fisticuffs, no one fights one-handed.
No, yeah.
Ever.
But first punch is thrown
First
once.
hit,
Yeah.
send it.
You'll need one hand for that.
Okay, so am I doing brawl or am I doing my brass knuckle?
Do
Your
the brass knuckle, it'll be tied to brawl.
Yeah.
That's only 6 points of luck.
I'll spend the luck.
Okay. Where are you trying to hit this thing? Just anywhere you can, or are you aiming for a specific location?
I'm going for a. It's got a fairly good-sized jaw. I'm going for the jaw.
You crack it right in the jaw. You hit this thing, and it pauses and looks down at you, and it essentially just screams in your face. Go ahead and give me a power roll. Dave,
No,
you're
that was
still
not-
grappling
sorry.
with yours.
It's the same roll, but it's the same percentage. But
You still rolled a
we're
one,
gonna
mate.
keep
You
that,
still
we're gonna
rolled
keep
a
that,
one.
we're gonna keep
yeah.
it.
Very nice.
Columbo, tell me about the first missing person you were able to recover.
It was a case of series of people disappearing out of Arkham, and there was where they were taking and just dismantling bodies within this pit, and but we managed to save the most recent one that was captured, that had been kidnapped.
Okay. That
So-
memory springs to your head when this creature yells at you, and it stops, and it just gives you a glare as this memory just comes out of your mind. You have no idea where this popped up, but it did. And it takes a step back from you. And it almost looks sad as it just turns around and walks away in the opposite direction.
Because you're not naughty.
Doesn't try to engage you at all. It
Because
leaves.
you're nice.
And I'm gonna go and stand. I'm gonna continue moving if I can, and get in front of who was it being attacked?
Beatrice. They're going for Beatrice. Beatrice, you have all of these men trying to protect you right now.
Man, I need to do another occult roll to see if I can turn this thing off. I'm worried if I just smash it, it's going to get worse. So I'll do that when I get
Beatrice?
done.
Beatrice, give me an occult roll. Dave, Evan, Tim, please give me power rolls.
Oh dear.
And Evelyn, what are you doing right now?
Critical for me. It's my turn to roll a 1, guys. Fucking hell.
Be my luck on that.
Woohoo!
I'm using more luck to get mine
Using
to a
more
success.
luck?
2 1s in a
Alright.
row, boys.
Okay.
How much is that spent? Is that
Right.
It's not a lot. I think it's 4.
What are you,
four?
what are you
4.
doing? 4 for you.
Yeah.
For his power. Evelyn, what are you doing while all of this is taking place?
Stay back and observe and have my pepper
Backstory.
spray ready for them to come forward.
Okay. I'm gonna say, as all of this is happening, you don't even realize it. You just happen to turn and you realize one standing right next to you.
Pepper spray.
And
that
it looks like
motherfucker.
it's mimicking you as it just stands there with a notepad in its hand, watching everything. It looks down at you and it gives you a wink. And it asks you, once again, its mouth isn't moving, do you want to join? And you start to get these little glimpses of a child stealing money out of their mother's wallet, of another kid pushing a smaller kid on the playground and kicking dirt on them, of another one throwing a rock at a dog. And then it switches to an adult stealing money out of a cash register, another one running through a red light and hitting a car, and then they just keep going. And then there's one that lingers in your mind as you see someone shoot somebody in an alleyway. And this creature is looking at you, and it's asking you, do you want to punish the naughty? I'm gonna give you time to think about that. So, Beatrice, you get an idea of this is definitely the thing, and you know it has something to do with that figurine. Smashing the snow globe, you don't think that really matters. You think you have to do something to the figurine itself that's inside of the snow globe.
Take the
So
stupid
that
Santa
needs to
thing
be
off it.
destroyed. Dave, please give me please give me a memory of the first person you saved.
First person I saved. Wow. When I first joined the fire department, we were sent out to a school fire, and it was a 6-year-old that was trapped in the gym, and I was not going to let this 6-year-old die, so I risked my life to save him, because obviously the equipment's not as high tech as it is today. So
Right, yeah.
This memory rushes to the front of your head, unbidden. And the creature that you're struggling with just stops and just lets go of the axe, looking disgruntled. And it gives you almost a sneer before it turns around and it walks away into the crowd. Evan.
Mm-hmm.
I need a memory from you of when you saved one of your firefighters' lives. One of your fellow firefighters.
On the job or not on the job? Because there was one where it wasn't on the job. There was actually a time where we were at a funeral for one of the fallen, and it's when I was very new on the force, and it was one of the older guys who was very near retiring, and he had died in a fire and rescue, and we were at his funeral, and one of the mourners, one of the brothers from the firehouse, actually got too drunk, and when they were lowering the coffin, he was loitering too close, and he fell in, and the coffin landed on top of him, and I was first to go and lift that coffin up. He broke his arm and lots of ribs and stuff, but if I hadn't been first in to lift that coffin up, he might have suffocated or worse, and that's when I saved a fellow fireman's life not on the job.
Alright. This springs to the front of your mind, this act that you did for another person in your community without having to. It wasn't part of your job, you weren't obligated to do so. And the one that you have around its waist, you feel it kind of go slack a little bit, and as it looks down at you. And you see it narrows its eyes, and it looks really angry. And as you're holding it, it starts to shrink and becomes small. Before now, it's once again 5'2", this little deer creature with these big eyes, just looking at you. And it gives you a little boop on the nose, and it holds out its hand, and it's holding a cookie for you. Has a big red fire truck on it and icing.
That's I'm nice and not naughty, yeah.
It gives you a pat on the head, and it pops up, and it bounds away. Opposite direction of where all the other chaos is taking place.
Away from the children.
Away from the children.
Fine.
It looks like it's heading towards the other end of the mall.
Good.
Tim. Tim, please go ahead and give me a memory of you as a Little League coach when one of the boys was incredibly upset and you were able to help turn the morale around.
Yeah. It was in the middle of one of the games, and the pitcher got hit by the ball that he had just thrown, and the batter just nailed him. And, he could have tried to throw the guy out, but he didn't know what was going on, and he started crying in the middle of on the pitch there, and just ran off the field. The other players didn't really know what to do, and you'd think they'd be better at a Little League game, but maybe not. Some of the crowd from the other team booed him.
Oh,
and he ran
boo
straight
those
to
adults.
me. Yeah. I don't know. Jerks. But I was able to, comfort him and tell him that it's okay and the game is still going on. We've still got a chance. In fact, it's going on right now, and now is not the time to leave. And you're the only kid who can pitch worth a damn. Like, really? I'm good? It's like, yeah, you're the best pitcher we've got. And being the only pitcher we've got, didn't matter that he was not good at all. But he got back out there.
Oh.
Go ahead and give me a luck roll, Tim. But you see the Krampus that you were trying to body block backs away from you. Starts to turn and leave.
Ooh.
Yep,
Ooh.
that's all right. Nope, it still goes. It still goes. Beatrice, what are you doing right now? You're kind of focused on the snow globe. You don't really see everything else that's happening.
I mean, I'm guessing I know it's a bit chaosy at least, right? So,
Yeah.
I kind of want to see if I can easily unscrew the base, and then I'm gonna look at if I can then look at the statue. But my idea is I think I need to burn it. Unless,
Okay, you want to burn it?
Well, no, I'm gonna check it out one more time. Maybe I don't know.
Oh, it's wood. It's wood. It's been shellacked.
Okay. I don't know if I can easily undo the bottom of the snow globe and take out the.
When you try to undo it, it does break, but you're able
Okay.
to still access the figurine in it.
And it doesn't have a room that says on off situation. It's just like
Turn
Let's
it-
switch.
yeah, okay.
You're not seeing an on-off button.
So could I guess
Give
with
me
my
intelligence.
I was gonna say so I'm trying to think I know about spells from books, so I might know basic, if you burn it might be a good deal, break it in half. So yeah, I guess intelligence then.
Yeah, give me. Yeah, okay.
Okay, success.
So with that success, just from knowing artifacts, knowing the lore that goes around artifacts, normally if a part of it is defaced or broken, that artifact, whatever power it has, normally is also disrupted. So just going off of your knowledge of just stuff, you get the sense that if you just fuck this thing up somehow, that
Like a football.
should be enough.
Dunk it like
If
Jordan,
we're,
mate.
if we're close by, can we not say what are you doing with this
I
thing?
mean,
What is going? You can see because we don't know what she's doing, but we can
You're squaring off right now.
Well, all we
You're
know
squaring
is whatever she's doing has caused all these things to run at her. So it must be important. He's got a snow globe in his hand. He's broken it open. I'm gonna look at that. I'm gonna say, smash it.
No, I'm gonna follow the thread that I've been given. I'm gonna light all my cigarettes and jam it at the thing and
Bunk
deface
it with
it
cigarettes.
burning nicotine.
Yes. So 80s, so
So I'm gonna
80s. I
say-
love it.
You just make a bonfire of cigarettes
Yep.
on this thing as these men who you don't know have essentially formed a human wall around you, fending off each of these creatures as they walk up to it. It's almost like there's literally an invisible wall as these things run up, get in front of one of these guys, and just takes a pause and just goes, ah, and walks away. For a second, you're like, oh no, is this thing too wet? Before, go ahead and give me a dexterity. As it suddenly just alights as if you had dumped kerosene all over it. And you're able to pull your fingers away before they get caught.
Does it explode?
You know what? Yeah, it does. There's a small explosion. Flame 5 feet tall happens.
Because I got those dodgy
Whatever it was
cigarettes.
shellacked with was like napalm.
Dodgy cigarettes for Turkey, yeah.
Yeah.
And then the second that happens, all of a sudden, it gets hot. Like it feels super hot, and you realize, no, it's not hot. It's just
Normal.
the heat's just turned back on, and it's normal again.
Tim to maintenance. Belay that order.
The snow continues to fall, but now it sparkles like glitter.
Oh,
You know,
no.
like fake snow. And it's super pretty. You see everybody's just like, oh. They've been watching this whole thing go down, but they've been laughing the entire time, thinking this was some type of weird
what it-
skit or game. Because for them, they just see these little guys, these little antlers, walking around.
running up, and we're holding them off by putting our hand on their head.
And we're chasing them
Yeah.
about, yeah.
Yep,
It's all
it
comedy.
looks hilarious. None of you notice one of these things still quietly standing in front of a display next to a woman who's been observing a lot. Evelyn, you were asked the question before.
The answer is no. Because I don't like what your guys' sick, twisted idea of justice is, where you have me intrigued knowing what you're doing is vigilante, and that's not justice.
And you see it gives you a look. And you can hear once again as it simply states, to be a vigilante infers that we are moving outside of the law. The law does not apply to us.
Exactly, and I pepper spray the cunt.
Give me a dexterity roll to see how badly you hit it.
Fuck it up,
It's-
Chris.
You're
Fuck
hitting it
up.
point blank. Yeah, Chris, Evelyn shoots it point blank, so it's hitting regardless. The dexterity roll is just letting me know how much damage you're going to do.
Yeah.
On a failed dexterity, a bunch of people are going to watch you pepper spray this adorable little tiny creature. Okay. Normal success, get it right in the eyes. It gets in its mouth. It does not like it.
Been adopted.
I was
Pepper
trying
spray
to
had just been adopted.
listen. I thought I
Nice.
could get Evelyn. I thought I was going to be able to get her. A little disappointed. Thought Chris would go along with it, but it backs away in pain, wiping out its face as it stumbles into the crowd. Another one of its kind comes over and grabs it by the elbow as it starts to run off. They've now all reverted back to those little deer forms. And they are all still kind of walking around a little bit, not as fully immersed in the crowd, kind of like they're all congregating as if they're getting ready to leave. And you see, I think you see Tim. Tim, they're all looking at you.
Uh-oh.
Except the one that has pepper spray on its sign. It's
The one that has
Don't look
pepper
at it,
spray is
shit.
just like this. It's just like trying. It's not looking at anybody. It's focused right now.
So all 13 or all 12 of them
12.
are just sort of looking,
They're looking right at you.
and one has got like totally red eyes
One
and
is-
red
one of them
nose
is like-
now, like
Yeah.
red nose that starts flying.
Its little snot's coming out of its nose.
If they're all back to like a normal height, then maybe I'll try to like shuttle them away, like drive them off into the back into the food court altogether. Like, hey, herd animals. So I'll just sort of like run them on the side and like get back.
As you approach, one of them reaches into its sleeve and it takes out a little card and it hands it to you.
I bat it aside and try to push it backwards.
You hear
With the
it
others.
You go to back it away, and you can see it frowns a little bit. Did not like that.
Read the card.
And you
Read
see
the
it-
card.
It tries to give the card to you one more time.
Read the card, Morgan.
Read the card.
Fine, I snap it up and read it quickly.
It just simply says, "Perch and Patrol, available every year."
Hell no!
Available every Christmas.
Not again!
And you see it gives a little frown, and it kind of just walks away. All 13 now are stomping over to Santa. And you can see Al.
I follow after.
This
I
whole
try to
time,
cut in front.
Al's still
God,
been
Al,
like
what are
taking
you doing?
pictures with these
Like,
kids. They all stomp
thank you
over
so
to
much.
him, and Al like looks over, and he's just like, "Oh." And then one by one, they each do an uppies, and Al's just like, "Oh, okay." And he gives each of them a little hug. Each single one, because he rolled incredibly high on his charm, and they think he's Santa. And they think he's Santa. All walk away with the exception of 3. When I say walk away, they're heading towards the entrance on the other side of the mall, there's 3 that break away and run over to the Arkham Apple.
I go up to
I'm gonna
Al,
say-
like, are you okay?
And Al's just like, yeah, Tim, this is one hell of a show. You didn't tell me you're gonna be doing all this, man. This is great.
God,
This is
this-
hilarious.
I'm glad. Well, I'll have you back next year. Great.
Yeah, those
Keep
little guys are so
kissing those
cute.
babies.
Okay, I'm not gonna kiss any children. That's
It's
a
a
little weird.
figure of speech. You know,
Okay.
I
do
totally
Okay.
get the thing.
be the best Santa you can be. And I will look to those 3 that are heading not towards the exit.
No, they're dashing into the food court, and you can see that they're just standing there looking up. At the individuals working the Arkham Apple, they are not your employees. They come from an actual bakery. But you see that they're just kind of like, oh, and you start staring at them, and then you see them reach over and hand them little bags. If you're not sure what, they take the bags, and then they run back and rejoin the others. And you just watch as they jauntily exit the mall.
I believe. Okay. That part is good.
And it continues on without a hitch. You do not see them again. For the rest of December, you check each time. Your security guards will put on notice that if they were to see these little guys, to immediately call you. Al comes back each time until the mall is officially closed down for holiday. Colombo, you were able to get a call back from dispatch, and they stated that no missing children's in any other counties or towns that they're tracking. That's
So
of
there's
any
wrong and then there's
concern.
Arkham wrong.
Yeah. Christmas Eve comes. All of you are at your homes with your families. Beatrice, you have your cat. And your great uncle. You do have your great uncle. All of you hear a knock at your doors pretty late in the evening. When you all go to investigate, there is a brightly wrapped present just sitting on the stoop. We're going to start with Tim. What was something that you really, really wanted as a child that you never got?
Immediately after those candies, syrup ipecac. Little bottle.
There is a big bottle of it in there with a little bow, and it says it's peppermint flavored, which is not a thing, but it says it's peppermint flavored.
Peppermint.
It's not a thing, but yeah. Frank Colombo, you go to answer the door, pistol ready to be drawn. You see this present. What's one thing that Frank Colombo really, really wanted for Christmas that he never got?
It's an entire Western sheriff outfit.
You pull out this adult-sized Western sheriff outfit. You feel the badge in your hand, and you're like, holy shit, this is a real badge. This is a real sheriff's badge. It looks easily 100 years old.
Wow.
Beatrice. What does Beatrice always have wanted that she didn't get for Christmas?
Well, decided she was in foster care, so she always wanted a loving family.
You go to open up your package, and you can see there's a card in there with an address on it. And you look at it, and then you realize, no, I know what this address is. And you're just like, you feel compelled to go. Evan and Dave. The firehouse is throwing a Christmas Eve celebration. Family obviously is welcome. It's something that they do every other year. You're all there. Beatrice, I'm going to say that there's 2 other gifts that were on your doorstep. One says to Dave Hackman, and the other one says to Evan Hernandez. And while you're all there, you see this woman who you recognize coming in holding 2 presents. Evan, what's something that you always wanted for Christmas but you never got?
A wrestling ring, full size.
All right. Dave, what's something that you wanted? No, maybe it's going to happen. Dave, what's something that you wanted?
A G.I. Joe doll. My parents were pacifists, so that's why I got a Beatles.
Oh, like my
G.I.
cousin
Joe
Matthew,
doll.
his parents never let him play with guns when he was a kid, and the rest of my mum's side of the family used to tear the piss out of them. Like,
But Beatrice, you walk in with these presents, and one of the wives of the fireman, she sees you and makes an assumption that you're part of someone's family, and she gets your coat, she makes you a plate, she pulls you in, starts asking your name. You know, she recognizes your name from your store. So she just starts very excitedly. She just starts talking to you about, she loves your store. There's so many cool, weird, funky things in it. And she turns, Uncle Dave, this lady owns that store that I keep going to, the one with like the voodoo doll head. Do you still have, is it a real like shrunken head? And you see Beatrice. She gives you your present. And you see your doll. Evan, I need a dexterity
oh
from you.
no,
It's gonna explode.
success.
Evan, you go to open yours, and like this emergency wrapping just explodes from the box, and you back away really fast as this giant blow-up ring is now just sitting on the fire department floor, fully prepared for all sizes to hop into it because it is blow up. So certainly can get into it too.
Oh, amazing.
We got a little bell thing and a hammer connected to it. Ding,
Guess
ding,
what we're
ding.
doing on Christmas Day, mate? We're having a wrestling tournament. Royal fucking Rumble. Let's go. Rumble in the firehouse.
Evelyn, what's something that Evelyn always wanted for Christmas that she never got?
Rock'em sock'em robots.
Ooh.
Fucking brilliant.
You go, you hear somebody knocking on your door. You look in the window first, because you're a shrewd woman. You open your door and you see a present. And inside you see Rock'em Sock'em. It has the distinct smell of pepper. And your nose wrinkles up a little bit. And that's Santa's Alley. Good job, everybody. Look at all of you.
That was
Can
super.
I-
We survived and nobody lost that much sanity.
Can I add one thing? Just eventually, when Beatrice gets a family, she makes everyone smoke because she tells everyone how
How it
smoking
saved the
saved
world.
Christmas.
It's smoking
So,
safe Christmas.
Everyone in her family or anyone she meets, she tries and pushes cigarettes on everyone for the sake.
Every teenager related to a fireman starts to smoke.
Yep.
You heard it here first. Smoking saves Christmas, folks. Don't forget cigarettes
In the
save
only in
Christmas.
the 80s.
Only
Only
in
in
the
the
80s,
80s.
absolutely.
That was superb, Birdie. Thank you
My
very
parents
much.
are in the 80s.
Yeah,
Very
my
cool.
goal.
Thank you.
My goal was not to drain sanity. My goal was to snatch one of you in a sack.
Ah,
I
that's
needed you
superb.
to fail a little bit more.
Let me outro us, and then we'll do the raid thing, and then we can do reef after. That was a lot of fun, Birdie. Thank you. Everybody, thank you for playing. Dave, Birdie, Martin, Chris, Morgan, and Brian, and thanks for dressing up, everybody. Let's all join me in a very quick "We wish you a Merry Christmas" for the viewers, everybody. 1, 2, 3. We wish you a Merry Christmas.
Oh, with the song.
We wish you a Merry Christmas.
You a Merry Christmas.
We wish you a Merry
Merry
Christmas
Christmas.
and a Happy New Year.
Okay.
It's just as bad every time we do it. I was trying to do it. Yeah, it was just as bad as the Goblins, Dave. Never
Oh, there's
mind.
puppy tail.
Never mind.
I mean, Chris's Irish, they're always musical. He should have been the best one.
That was superb, folks. Thank you very much, everybody on Chris's Twitch, for watching us. We love you. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you. We love you. Thank you very much for watching. And everybody who's tuning in on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, whenever I decide to do it on YouTube. Thank you very much for watching. I am RxOliver. These wonderful people are my friends. Have a wonderful Christmas and festive period, whatever you do or don't celebrate. Thank you. Good night. God bless.
Plus.